Leaving Certificate of Agricultural Science involves the study of science and technology underlying the principles and practices of agriculture. The breakdown of the exam. There is both a higher and an ordinary level paper in this subject. The written component is worth 75%, and the remaining 25% is an assessment task, a research project that the student completes during both years, 5th and 6th year of the course. I'll discuss that later on. There is also a portfolio of specified practical activities, which really are experiments that the student completes in the duration of their studies of this subject. Here we are looking at the structure of the new course. You will notice on the outer part that there are a number of topics. These are topics that are prevalent throughout all of the topics studied in this course, which are the main ones being soils, animals and crops. There are things like health and safety, technology, sustainability, which are all current topics in agriculture that the students find really interesting, and they're included within all of these topics. So where we study animals, you will be studying the husbandry practices involved, managing the animals, the genetics around reproduction, things like that. So that's just to give you a flavour, and I am aware that diagram isn't overly clear, so if you wanted to Google the structure of the agricultural science specification, you will be able to see this in more depth. Here we are looking at the assessment task in a little bit more detail. So it's referred to as the individual investigative study. The State Examination Commission each year at the beginning of September, October time, and they release a topic or a thematic brief in which the student then goes with and looks at a specific area within that topic. So for example, the 6th years this year, their thematic brief was improving sustainability in Irish agriculture. So it's always very broad, and the student can pick an area within that they want to gather data on, process that data, evaluate evidence, develop arguments, and then form a report on it, in which the SEC then assesses. It's always nice to make content real for the students that they're learning in class. So we always bring students on a farm trip. Most recently we were in Ballyhaise College in Cavan, where students really got some valuable information and great learning experiences from experts in the area. The career opportunities for agricultural science are endless. You will see a number of them listed on my screen. It's also important to mention that there are a number of cross-curricular links with agricultural science, specifically biology and geography. You will see a large number of links particularly around genetics, between agricultural science and biology, which many students find useful when they're studying both subjects. And just to conclude, firstly, a large proportion of the students currently studying agricultural science are not from farming backgrounds, and they are not at a disadvantage. They enjoy the subject and they excel in it. Secondly, the majority of colleges and universities today accept agricultural science as a science subject, but I would encourage you to speak to your guidance counsellor for more details on that. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope this was informative. Please contact me if any further information is required.